Nandana Jaya Brajana Ranjana Jaya Yashodhanandana Jaya Brajana Ranjana Jaya Yamuna Tirabana Chari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Tirabana Chari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna.
Shri Radha Girdhari Bhagavan ki, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki Jai, Shri Giri Govardhan ki Jai, Shri Radha Neela Madhav ki Jai, Shri Rukmini Dwarkadish Bhagavan ki Jai, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Bhakt Hanuman ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bol Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srila Gurudev ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Mahavishnu Goswamiti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Daivim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna. So hope everyone is doing well with this today's Jai Srila Prabhu's class. Then we complete our marathon 2 days of Sri Gaur Purnima festival programs. We did one on Friday and today. So I'm sure this will give us enough impetus to become serious in our bhakti. And as we become serious, then as we said, we don't become 0-watt bulb, we become 1,000-watt bulb, shine, in the mercy of Prabhupada's messages. And then we bring as many living beings as possible to this message of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, Hare Krishna. So, as we promised, next week we will have some of you will be moving to the intermediate level program. Can we show ourselves, please? This is the intermediate beginners program and the serious program devotees, please. So the devotees will be moving. I'll put a notice on our group. Who will be moving to the intermediate level from the beginners program would be that of Partha Prabhu. And is it Partha is around here? I can't see.
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
There you are. Okay, sorry. Okay, all right. Then we had Mayuresh. We have Mayuresh Prabhu also moving. I think he is still harvesting, is he? He is still harvesting.
Yes, I think he was here. I think he's disconnected again. I think
Yes.
network issues there. Yeah.
Yes, when he goes to harvest, his technology network is very difficult there, you know. And then we've got Divyanshi Mataji and Soumya Mataji. So there's 4. We are moving to the intermediate level. A big Hari Bol to them. Hari Bol. And so it will be a separate session for them. So that way there'll be tutors. For now, the tutors are Sanjeev Prabhu and Sheetal Prabhu, and will be helped by myself and my wife, my son. So, and Avinash Prabhu will join us as he finds time, and as we move forward. We also encourage all of you to get new people to replace them in our beginners program. Of course, everybody attends all the programs. That's a bit different, you know. Normally in material education, once you finish one grade, you go to the next grade, higher grade, so you don't go to the lower grade. But here we keep going. Everybody attends all the programs. And this science of self-realization, the beginners program, I must have done, I don't know, 20 times or something. I'm studying this, and it is all fresh, you know. And each time it is boxing ring. It's all every time it's the same concept but very different, you know. Every time I think it is new, you know. And that's how it is. This is Krishna consciousness, you know. So I'll put up a note in our WhatsApp group too that please, if anyone wants to move to beginners program from our general program, then please do so. So as you know, we've got 4 different program WhatsApp groups. First is that of the general Hare Krishna weekend, where everybody joins in there. Second is that of the beginners program WhatsApp, beginners program. Then we've got Hare Krishna weekend intermediate program, and then we've got Hare Krishna weekend leaders program. And for each of them, there are separate sessions that we do. And for leaders, we've got training sessions differently. So we are very busy. They say, so busy, no time to die. Prabhupada has, and Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj has made sure that we remain busy. And that's how, when death comes, we are better to die busy rather than not busy. You know? So we request, and it's a challenge to all of us to replace them. So invite your friends. I'll put up a note in our general group to say that if someone wants to move on to intermediate, to the beginners program, please do so, and be ready for interactivity. And we'll encourage them to come to our online program, because that's where our training session happens. So this is how Bhakti Shastri course is taught, as Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj has taught me, has instructed me. The first, when people join in, they should be first taught smaller books of Prabhupada. That's what you teach them first. Once the concepts are clear, then you teach them, bring them to level where we discuss Nectar of Instruction, Shri Updeshamruta, and Shri Isha Upanishad, and thereafter Bhagavad-Gita. But we encourage people to start studying Bhagavad-Gita at that level, and then Srimad Bhāgavatam on its own, and that keeps on rolling on it, you know. So it all depends upon your capacity, how fast you want to study, and most important thing is about realization. Personal realization is very, very important, you know, change in our own self rather than changing the world, you know. Okay, So nothing happens. Next week onwards, we'll be having the same program, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 2 programs. But there'll be a separate program for the intermediate level, which we'll be finishing before. All right. Hare Krishna. So before these festivals begin, do you remember where we stopped last time in our discussion? Who was studying there? Suchi was reading there. Yeah. But others there. So do you remember where we finished? Oh, well, I'm not surprised. I remember. So I'm a servant, you know. So as servant, I should remember. You should not remember. You're all bosses. One day you'll become servant too when you preach, when you have your programs. Then you will have to remember. Okay, all right. Are you there, Sushi? We can't see you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
You're there? Can you show us your face, or no? You're busy.
No problem. I'm there.
You're there, so we can see you. There you are. Very nice. Okay. And what about others? Who are there from beginners? Shaurya. I forgot her name. Narada Matari, are you muted? I can't hear.
Rupali.
Rupali. That's right, Rupali.
Ye-
Right. So
Yes, Prabhuji.
can you on your video as well, if it's possible?
Prabhuji, sorry, it is not possible today to switch on the video,
No problem.
but I'm listening.
That's okay. Priyanka, Hare Krishna. Are you there? You're at work?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, you are at work now, Priyanka?
Sorry.
Are you at work or you at home? You can show yourself.
Okay.
Good. Mayuresh Haribol, can you hear us now? Okay, well, he's harvesting. All right then. Let us start. Sushi, can you continue with the reading then in that case? Yeah? All right. So I'll show you where we were. 1, 2, 3, start. There you go. Can you see it now? Can you see now?
Not visible. It's not visible. No, now it's visible.
Okay.
It's showing your internet tab.
Okay. What's the problem? Hold on. Let me start again. Now it should be all right. Okay. All right. Please read, Sushi.
Yeah. Simply to understand that God is seated in everyone's heart is not perfection. One has to be acquainted with God from within and without, and thus act in Krishna consciousness. This is the highest perfectional stage for the human form of life, and the topmost stage in all yoga system.
Okay. Would you like to repeat this again, please?
Am I audible perfectly?
Yes.
Simply to understand that God is seated in everyone's heart is not perfection. One has to be acquainted with God from within and without, and thus act in Krishna consciousness. This is the highest perfectional stage for the human form of life, and the topmost stage in all yoga systems.
So acquainted. One has to be acquainted. Acquainted meaning what? Maintaining friendship. Knowing him, talking to him, appreciating his presence, acquaintance. That's how the meaning is. Okay, please continue.
For a perfect yogi, there are 8 kinds of super achievement. One can become smaller than an atom. One can become bigger than a mountain. One can become lighter than the air. One can become heavier than any metal. One can achieve any material effect he likes, create a planet, for example. One can control others like the Lord can. One can freely travel anywhere within or beyond the universe. One can choose his own time and place of death and take rebirth wherever he may desire. But when one rises to the perfectional stage of receiving dictation from the Lord, one is above the stage of the material achievements above mentioned.
Okay, just 1 second. So these 8 achievements are called Ashta Yoga Siddhis. Okay, Ashta meaning 8, Yoga Siddhis means Yoga Siddhi. All right. So ordinarily, these 8 things, when somebody does, it is assumed that this person is actually spiritual. But it is not spiritual, it is material. Becoming smaller than an atom, bigger than a mountain, lighter than air, heavier than any metal. He can create planet, for example, achieve any material effects, can control and somebody else like the Lord, like God, can freely travel anywhere he wants, beyond the universe also, within or beyond the universe. But can choose his own time and place for birth and rebirth, wherever he desires. These are all material. Spiritual means when one is in direct contact with God. Okay? So these Ashtasiddhis can be easily misunderstood by somebody who is very powerful. And this point needs to be understood very well. I'm going to take some names. You don't be shocked. But there are this kind of people who call themselves God, but they create some watch or create some, ashes in the hand, give you some gold. This they're hiding from somewhere. But even if they don't hide, even if they create out of thin air, that is still not spiritual. This is manipulation of matter, and you can manipulate matter by chanting certain mantras and performing some yoga siddhis over many, many years of practice. And this is the truth. It happens. It is a fact. Like Srila Prabhupada would say that my teacher, like when Prabhupada was very naughty, he would not go to school, so his they would have a servant, and the servant would take him to go to school, and every day he had to run away. So they would tie him. They would tie Prabhupada with a rope, and he would take him to school. This is how he would go to school in Kolkata. So, and also because his father was very affluent, Gaur Mohan De. So they being Vaishnavas, so he would also have a private tutor. So his teacher would come to teach him in his home. He would have a guru. So, and his guru would have this chamatkar, this thing about he can do things. So Prabhupada said that, hey, yes, I would tell him that, okay, I want to eat pomegranate from Afghanistan. So it seems pomegranate from Afghanistan is very sweet, very nice, tasty. So his guru would say, yes, go to the next door, next room. It's kept there now. Take it. So he would go and it's there, freshly cut from the tree. And they would eat the pomegranate. There's nothing spiritual, it is still material. Similarly, there are also cases where even now there will be yogis who would take a dip from Ma Ganga, the Ganges in the Himalayas, up there and come out, say in Prayag, in Allahabad, in the confluence. There's nothing spiritual, it's material. Remember these points. These may be just words for us, but even as students, this is very important for us to know that we should not be fooled. A devotee doesn't need to show this kind of prowess. People like to show prowess. So Prabhupada, when he would go to India, all these Indian people would tell him, Swamiji, कुछ चमत्कार दिखाइए, show us some chamatkar, What chamatkar you want me to do? He said, this chamatkar, look, these Western people, they are Vaishnavas now. They are born in alcohol, illicit sex, meat eating. They are dancing white elephants, Prabhupada would call them. They are dancing white elephants. So this is not chamatkar. Yes. So they want somebody to walk on the water and all that, So don't be fooled. We know how to walk on the water. Even the magicians walk on the water nowadays, But if you know how they walk on the water, you will know what they keep under the water where they walk, Foolishness. Okay. Any questions on this, please? So even creating one planet out of nowhere is still material. Don't be very, yeah. So there are all kinds of people, and there are all kinds of followers, and their followers are very, very powerful people. Prime ministers, ministers, very, very powerful. All this, Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg, they also come to India. Whenever they've got material difficulties, when their businesses would go, they'd go to Rishikesh and spend some time with some Baba there. He's dead now. The Baba is no longer there, but he goes there. Don't go to Google and search out. I know. I'll tell you later on. All right? It's simple. But they go for material benefit. And they find a satisfaction. Actually, it happened. Zuckerberg actually was in distress. He went and spoke to this Bill Gates to say, what do I do? He said, go to India, go to Rishikesh, go to this place. That's where I went. And he found. But there's nothing spiritual about it. Nothing spiritual. All right? It's an impersonal step. Okay? Do you understand this? No, you don't understand. If somebody starts to fly in air, everybody will run to say, hey, you're flying in air. It's Superman. Oh my God. I'll follow him. How do you do it? Show me. We'll go that way. Foolish people we are. So, no problem. Prabhupada did not fly in air. But here you go. Everywhere Prabhupada's Aarti is going on. Okay, any questions anyone has got? All right, let's move on then. Yes, please. Sushi, we can't hear you.
Yeah. But when one rises to the perfectional stage of receiving dictation from the Lord, one is above the stage of material achievement above mentioned. The breathing exercise of the yoga system is generally practiced is just the beginning of the system. Meditation on the super soul is just a step forward. Achievement of wonderful material success is also only a step forward, but to attain direct contact with the super soul and to take dictation from him is the highest perfectional stage. The breathing exercise and meditation practices of yoga is very difficult in this state, in this age. They were difficult even 5,000 years ago, or else Arjuna would not have rejected the proposal of Krishna. This age of Kali is called a fallen age. At the present moment, people in general are short living and very slow in understanding self realization or spiritual life. They are mostly unfortunate, and as such, if someone is a little bit interested in self realization, he is misguided by so many frauds. The only way to realization of the perfect stage of yoga is to follow the principle of Bhagavad-Gita as were principles of Bhagavad-Gita as they were practiced by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the simplest and highest perfection of yoga practice. Lord Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya practically demonstrated Krishna consciousness yoga simply by chanting the holy names of Krishna, as they are mentioned in the Vedanta, the Srimad Bhagavatam, and many important Puranas. The largest number of Indians follow this yoga practice, and in the United States and other countries also it is gradually growing in many cities. It is very easy and practical for this age, especially for those who are serious about success in yoga. No other process can be successful in this age.
Okay,
The
just
meditation.
one second. So this is very straightforward. What has been given now, what Prabhupada is saying, very straightforward there. Anyone wants to say anything or any questions?
Hare Krishna.
Hariva Soumya Mataji, yes.
Yes, Prabhuji, I have a question. It is from, it is from the last verse that we are reading in this, the starting part. It said that one should be acquainted with God from within and without, and thus act in Krishna consciousness. So, what does it mean by within and without?
Yes, good question. So, as we discussed last week, within is where Krishna is the Guru in the heart. So, he's known as Chaitya Guru. So, the technical name of Paramatma or the Super Soul in the heart, who's acting as a Guru, is Chaitya Guru. Chaitya, Chaitya Guru. So this is how he is represented from inside the Guru, and the same Chaitya Guru is represented from outside by the actual Guru, who gives instructions about Chaitya Guru. So that's the meaning of God is represented within and without. That is the meaning by it. From which instructions can be taken, and we get knowledge about God. Because God's knowledge is not something which we can speculate and gain. That is very, very important thing which we keep on following, keep on having this point. Prabhupada keeps saying this. It is not that we can sit here and say God must be like this and God must be like that. We are tiny brain, We don't even know how many hair are in our body. What can we talk about God? And foolish people, they say, I'm God. Well, can you count your hair in your body, man? Stupid person, Nonsense. So, no. So that's why, and we require somebody who has got some knowledge. So it is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam that when a person, we are all living beings, are bound, our hands and legs are bound by the three modes of material nature, okay, which makes us live life in goodness, passion, and ignorance mixed together all the time. Sometimes we are happy mode, passion mode, the ignorant mode, all those things going on constantly. So in that, we cannot appreciate and know about the living beings who are above the three modes. That's why it's called Pare, above the three modes. We are within the three modes of material nature. So our thinking, our sight, our senses that was working, they are influenced by these three modes of material nature constantly. So ourselves we cannot see and we cannot understand God. So we require, when our hands and legs are bound, how can we help ourselves? We require somebody else who is unbound to open our hands and legs and say, now you'll know. So that is where a guru is needed. You see? So a person who has seen it, who's not bound by the three modes of material nature, who's transcendental. That's how the books of Prabhupada are there, to teach us. And from this you can become liberated. Alright? This is okay? Very nice.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Suchi.
Prabhuji, we have just studied the 8 type of yogas. Is those yogi who do this type of yoga practice, can also become devotee or bhakta, or they only be in that trap of in when I see Ramayana, we see Hanuman ji is also performing these type of yoga practices. Like he used to be small, he can lift the mountain,
Yeah.
and but he is also a devotee, very dear to Lord Ram.
Very good. Very good.
So
Good question. So Hanuman, Lord Hanuman, could do all these things by taking Ram's name. So because he was a devotee, he could do this. Not that all devotees are meant to do this, only then they are pure devotees, but he is Hanuman. He is incarnation of Lord Shiva. So he is supreme in his Dasa as a servant relationship with Lord Ram. He is the best. So because he was a devotee, he could do this. Similarly, anyone who is not a devotee, but who has, this because they are called Ashta Siddhis, one who has perfected these Siddhis. Okay, so there are yogis who can perfect the Siddhis. So don't think that anyone who's in the Himalayas or sitting somewhere has got the Siddhis. No, no, no. Most of the time they're sitting there and they smoke ganja, marijuana. There is bogusness. You say nicely, or they will have some illicit sex somewhere quietly, There's bogusness. They are running away, foolish people. And there are foolish people who also go from Western world. They go and say, I'll get some ganja, marijuana for this Baba. So the Baba is very happy and he smokes and we smoke and then he'll sing some nonsense speaking and then he'll go back, This is foolishness. So those who are really perfected the siddhis, if this does not go into their head, then anyone can become devotee. Yogis are not yogis. Siddhis are not siddhis. Devotees can be anybody. Male, female. Everyone has got equal opportunity to going back to Godhead. There's no discrimination. Non-devotees have got discrimination. Devotees do not have, because the same knowledge is there. Same application is there. Same application is in the sense how to practice it ourselves. You see? So yogis are there, So everyone is equal life. But those who have achieved this perfection, many times it goes into their head, so they do not want to be devotee, So why should I? Here everybody is coming to watch me. I'm doing like this, my leg goes up, so people come to watch me and they give me some money, There what I'm a beggar, I'm chanting Hare Krishna, nobody is interested, They show me some 1 rupee here, there or nothing. I don't want to be like this. There's a Mercedes comes to pick me up, So it is a bit hard. But anyone can become devotee. Is this okay? All right. Should we move on now? Anyone wants to say anything? All right, let's start.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Sorry. Just one point that in this Asht Siddhis, one of them is that yogi can travel beyond this universe.
Yes.
So beyond universe is spiritual world.
Not necessary.
Like Durvasa Muni used to,
Yeah.
he can approach Lord.
Yeah.
That's one of the
Lord
Siddhis.
Vishnu also. Yeah, he can approach Lord Vishnu.
Yes.
That Vishnu is, Kshatraya Vishnu is in the pole star.
Yes.
But pole star remains. It doesn't dissolve.
So that means the beyond universe.
That's right. You can do that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think yes, because otherwise, going to spiritual world is like
Yeah,
you need to.
Between universe, there's only one universe. There are universes, unlimited universes, and from the whole universes put together, material world and spiritual world, there are other dimensions also. From each universe, there are other layers of differentiation between the two. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. The dimensions of they disconnect between two universes. And between the whole material creation And spiritual world also, there is void, and then Brahmajyoti, and then Vaikuntha.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think, yeah. So these Ashtasiddhis would be like, if somebody got it, people get very impressed even a little bit. Like I remember that instance. One of the devotee in Bombay left Prabhupada with that bogus guru who's putting one coin in one side and getting it from our side. I want to learn that.
That's right.
But Srila Prabhupada didn't give up on him, and eventually he came back. So it's the mercy of Vaishnava.
Yes, and then he left. After that, he left.
Then he left again.
Because he wanted to learn to put one coin from one ear and take it out from the other ear. He wanted to learn this. Ultimately, he would have found that he was having two coins with the hand putting here, putting out. No, Haath ki safai, you know, the hand.
Yes, no siddhi about it.
It's Haath ki safai. Foolish people, you know. So there are all kinds of available, all kinds in this world, you know.
How
Okay.
about Puja, they say they can create their own planet?
Yeah.
So is that when they say planet, it's just like a Earth-like planet, they can create their own?
Yeah, of the not only Earth-like, but the seven, you know, Earth, water, fire, and ether. They can do so. Manipulation of matter.
That's quite powerful. Means seems.
Oh, very powerful. Don't think these are not powerful people. They are extremely powerful people. You don't want to fight with them.
Yeah, I think NASA and SpaceX is wasting their time, probably.
I mean, actually, you'll be surprised. As I was saying to all of you, I think I've not mentioned this to this new devotees here. I remember, I don't even remember the year. It must have been in the 80s, 84, 87, 86, in the Times of India. On the front page of Times of India, they had a big article when people said, America said we're going to Mars planet. So Times of India, I was surprised. They interviewed a person who says, we've already gone. He said, NASA is going to go to Mars planet, but in India, Indian yogis have already gone there. This yogi has gone there. So they interviewed this yogi, and he said, yes, I've gone, I've traveled. You know, so that's powerful. We have. Prabhupada also wanted to travel. Hansaruta Prabhu, he's no more now, but Hansaruta Prabhu, Maharaj Prabhu, he said Prabhupada told him that in one time in Germany, Prabhupada tried to travel through sun rays. Because sun rays is full of molecules. Sun rays are not just nothing there. The rays are actually small molecules, minute molecules. So the space is not vacant. Now, right now between me and this camera, you see there's nothing. You can see me, right? But actually there are small molecules. And these molecules carry vision and the sound. So this ether, the sound in the ether is called. It goes there, and now the human being has manipulated technology that goes from me, showing me and the sound of me coming to the camera, into the system, and into whatever they call it, you know, the fiber optics, underground, undersea, and reaching everywhere in the world. And it will remain recorded in YouTube. So is this not yogic siddhis of human beings? Scientists? Tell me, is it not yogic siddhis? It is. It is yogic siddhi. So anywhere you do tapasya, you can do it. Yeah, it's a question of tapasya, performing austerities, and you can do it. So it's in front of us, but we don't see it. We want to see somebody flying, that's the problem. This is our conditioning. I want somebody to fly, only then I will believe he is a yogi. It is okay?
That's good, yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyone wants to say anything? We move on. Okay, let's go. Are you here now? Let's start from here again.
But when one rises to the perfectional stage of receiving dictation from the Lord, one is above the stage of the material achievement above mentioned.
So
The
this is
breathing,
important. It's not speculation. So here, receiving dictation from the Lord, that means the Paramatma in the heart is then talking to you. So it is not speculating. Do not speculate about this. He will actually talk. When you talk, he'll talk. That's why we say, sometimes in the heart, somebody told me in my heart, I should not do it. Right? We say this. Somebody told me in my heart. That is what Paramatma is saying. Hey, don't do this. Or he said, my heart told me I should do it. So this is heart. Okay. Let's go.
the breathing exercise of the yoga system that is generally practiced is just the beginning of the system. Meditation on the super soul is just a step forward. Achievement of wonderful material success is also only a step forward. But to attain direct contact with the super soul and to take dictation from him is the highest perfectional state.
So this is what we want to achieve. This is what we want to achieve. To attain direct contact with the super soul and to take dictation from him is the highest stage. And it is already achieved. He speaks to everybody, but we're not listening. And many times there are so many voices in our head, man. The mind is saying something. So his mind is speaking, or Krishna is speaking, or who's speaking? I don't know. And there's music going on somewhere, Some web browser is open somewhere, So I've got 10 web browsers open, and somebody sent me this Facebook post, I've got 10 browsers open. I don't know what's happening, and there's a music going on somewhere. So don't ask me. So from there, we have to become human beings. And some people have got difficulty, mental, schizophrenia and all that. They have this. The mind is talking. Somebody's talking in the mind. I met people like this. A person who had this difficulty, he met me. He still told me that, something just out of nowhere, he just met me. I was just reading something so intensely. He said, hey, what are you reading, And he was a Maori guy, local Maori. He said, I had this difficulty. I had this ringing sound in my ears all the time. So I was like a vegetable. I didn't know what was going on. And then one day it just went off. He was taking cure medicines and all that. And he was cured. Now he's okay. He looked a little weird, not in the sense, but different facial, but he sounded very good, very clever. So now it's all gone. But what was that sound? I can't realize even now. Constantly ringing was going on there. Okay. So this is where we have to be very careful. And anything can be sure. Anything can be cured by Krishna Bhakti. You perform your arti, you chant your rounds if you can. Read. If you can't read, make him read. You read it to him or her. And let Prabhupada chanting start, it'll make effect. I had met a devotee, Guru Maharaj, one day. I remember once, when we went to India, once we saw a person there, and he was just living in the temple in Rajkot, just quietly. So Maharaj, one of the classes Maharaj said, look at him, Maharaj said. In England, he had difficulty, a mental thing, and people thought it was some mental problem for him, But he is here now, and he's so nice, He's stable. He's waking up for Mangalarti, he's doing his things, chanting, reading, listening to Bhagavatam and all those things. He's perfectly normal. So maybe the weather is bad because you see in India, it's so nice, man. We don't like heat, You don't like heat. Sun is all the sun, peltry heat and all that. That is not the case. In the West, like Germany, USA, UK, you have only certain number of days which has got sunshine. Can you imagine this? New Zealand has got the highest number of days, Auckland, among them. Bit better. Otherwise, it's 5:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the sun is gone. Seriously. In New Zealand also, now I think next week or week after, daylight saving starts. So from 6 o'clock it starts and 5 o'clock, 5:15, sun goes. Finished. 5:15. What will you do? India is best, man. 7:30, sun is still shining. So that's why, because of sunshine and the brain has got a lot of, and people are depressed. They come to a meditation program so much because, oh my God, sun is shining now, Summertime coming, I'd like to now go and remove my madness, depression. Actually, but we have what to do, we are conditioning. West is best. So no problem, West is best. I'm in West, but if I was not preaching, I would be back in India. Seriously telling you. Anyway, let's go.
Prabhuji, I want to ask something.
Yes.
There are many people in everywhere, maybe. Those who are practicing not this bhakti yoga or not chanting, but doing a certain kind of meditation, and but also they feel that they are happy and blissful in their own uh, stage, and they are also performing something very spiritual in their uh, mind or their on in their senses.
Yeah.
So is it like what meditation? And there are many gurus and sadhus in India who is preaching this kind of meditation, who are preaching this kind of meditation. But and they also the people also joining them feel satisfied also after they join their group. So is it correct to those kind of meditation that those people are showcasing are also correct, or uh, this has something like, of course, now we study, we know the essence and we know the seriousness of this meditation um, and the depth of it, but those people who are already joined that those troops are also feeling a sense of bliss. So is there a difference between this bliss and that bliss? Yeah, of course I know, but what answer would be the uh, appropriate one?
Good point. See, the thing is this: in today's world, the amount of stress that people are experiencing is huge. Right to inside the house, there is so much stress. Now with the COVID, there are mental stress of so many people. And there's stress about job, business, whatever. Wherever somebody is making some peaceful, they feel very peace. They think it is bliss. But remember one thing: real peace is that after your death, where you are going, you should know. A real peace is where once we know Krishna is God, then only our devotional service, our love for Him, service to Him, it should keep increasing. This feeling, as I said, even people who are, they may sit down and breathe in, breathe out, they feel so peaceful. For them, this is very nice, peaceful. Tell them if you do chanting, they don't want to do chanting. We used to have mantra meditation. So, if anyone says, I'm spiritual, you say, okay. So, if you know you're not this body, you're spirit, soul, yes, I feel. Do you experience it? Do you experience God? Can you talk to God? God talks to you all the time. And it is very practical, not whimsical things. That's where they do not have. So the momentary peace and bliss will remain, but what life exists after this life, that knowledge gives one more peace than anything else. Because you know where you're going. How many of us just walk out of the door and say, I'm going, but where? I don't know. I'm very scared. We go out of the door, we say, I'm going to work or going to my friend's place or going to have this or going for, wherever. You know where you're going, right? But death, after that, where is people going? They don't know. This is the funny part. So if people are not talking from the Shastra and they are not talking from Sampradaya, the chances are these are hodgepodge things. Do you understand this? And in Bhagavatam it is said, under kupam, this material world is like under kupam, means it's dark well. And a blind is leading a blind, and both of them fall into a ditch. How can you? You require an enlightened man whose eyes are open to say, don't go here, this will happen. This is what will happen. And once you experience, when you experience Krishna's hand through his devotees' hands and mercy, and you can feel it, that all the complications are getting solved so that you can do bhakti. It don't happen immediately. It can happen immediately. But when you experience that, then you know, yes, this is it. Not some wow, and then you feel so good and wow. And then what do you drink then? Do these people, when they say like this, yeah, they may be following very diligently also. And yoga practice, if they do some yoga and all, so their bodily health is also very good. Don't get me wrong. But are they conquering envy? Are they conquering more? We want to do it. Yeah, everybody wants to do it. We're also trying to do it. But at least we are trying in the process. We know where to go. Here, Bhagavad-Gita, this verse, we know. They don't know. The greed is conquered? No. So what can you do? Bogus. Very, very bogus. Very rarely you will find somebody who will say, that will tell you the truth, Very, very rarely. That's why we say, you will find faults in us. 100% I'm full of faults. We are full of faults. So don't waste your time finding faults on us. You spend your time reading Prabhupada's books. And whatever we are studying from, we're teaching you. It's not that we're teaching you something else and we're reading somewhere else. No, it's all transparent. Very satisfied. Satisfaction is the key. You'll know. Somebody satisfied, you'll know. Is it okay? Okay, all right. Should we move on now?
Prabhuji, I have related question.
Okay.
Prabhuji, there are some people in India who are, who are not charging something from us or not taking anything from us. However, they're saying that if you are leaving this god, or this god is from your kul devat, they are saying that this god is your kul devat. If you are not following this god, then there will be something bad happening with you. Okay, now whenever I'm following the Krishna consciousness, I knew that the Krishna is the god's god. Okay, and I'm following Krishna. So I just want to know that sometimes when something bad happens, they are saying that you did this thing at this time, that's why this bad thing happens with you. So and I'm not sure how come we believe that the things was really happened. It was really actually happened, but how come they knew these things, the things which had already happened in the past? Okay, and the person, I'm not sure of what kind of siddhi or anything they have, but they're saying this kind of truth. So is it possible? How come they are saying this kind of things?
Yes, as I said, anything is one of the siddhis, When you can control somebody, you can know the person, but they are very rare.
Oh.
Very rare. Even Christian missionaries preach like this.
Yeah, we have seen some videos that they are calling. Then they said this is.
It was ultimately found out to be fraud. They knew about their history. The same people they're calling. So if somebody really has got this, then it's again it's one of the siddhis. So what? What's the problem? He's got a siddhi. Good for him. How does it affect our bhakti?
Okay. So I'm just confused with one thing. When we are following Krishna and when we are not following our kul deva, so is there anything bad happen? Because Krishna is God's God, you know.
Yeah.
So that was my question is. So my question is, I mean, if I'm not following Kuldevat and if I'm following Krishna, then in future, is there any circumstances? Then what?
No, answer is no. It's not a problem at all. If you worship Krishna, everyone is satisfied. You don't have to worry about anything. Okay, but to ask to be get this is the answer. Okay, but to get more clarity, what do you mean by not following your Kula Devat? So what exactly it is?
Mhm. So what I have learned from this, that we have to follow Krishna because Krishna is God's God,
No, no,
and
my
if we are
question,
following
my
then
question is that when you said that you do not follow your Kula Devat and follow Krishna,
Mhm.
so I said you
Uh-huh.
follow Krishna, everything is sorted, no problem. Okay, there is the answer to your question. But I want to know what do you mean by you not following some Kula Devat? So what exactly have you stopped?
Not following means there are some village god
Yeah, I know.
which everyone has in India.
Yeah.
So everyone is praying their village god. There are some days which we have to follow, which we have that time we have to pray for them. So we have stopped. If I'm stop doing everything, like if I'm stopped doing following those days, if I'm stopped praying for those god, only I'm following the Krishna. So this is me.
Yeah, okay, okay. I think Sita Prabhu and Namrata Mataji will guide you on this. You know, that's not a problem. At a certain stage, you can pray. Also, when I go to India, I've got my Kula Devat, but we pray them to give me Krishna, please. You know, thank you very much for your support. I want, you know. So they're also serving Krishna in their own way. So who is it? Who's the Kul Devat? Is it Ganesha? Is it Durga? Who?
Is it actually is it Yellama Devi,
Yalama.
which is in
That's Durga.
yeah. Hmm.
That's Durga. Yeah, most of the Kula Devat in the material world is
Mhm.
either Shankar, Shiva, or Parvati, his wife. You know, in a different world. So even we have got our own. My Kul Devat is Parvati. You know, in one of the villages. You know, so I went once and I paid. That's fine. But we don't accept them as God. We don't accept them as servant of Krishna.
Ah, okay.
Our focus is that Krishna.
Yes.
And there's a particular kind of worship that can be done. So you don't get confused.
Mhm.
The thing is this that at this point in time, you add Krishna in your life. And as Sita Prabhu and Narada Mother will tell you, that if you worship Krishna, there is no need to do anything else. There's nothing, no
Yes.
need to do anything else. And as you say, sometimes your family has to go, so why should you not go? You go. You
Mhm.
pray, you also pray, but pray in your mind to say, thank you, please give me Krishna's service. Because you do not know how much Lord Shiva worships Krishna.
Yes.
We always
Yes.
meditation. So before Ramayana was written,
Mhm.
Mother Parvati asked, there is a marriage of Lord Shiva is written down before Ramayana. Okay? And
Yes.
also there is a reference where Mother Parvati is asking Lord Shiva, whom do you meditate upon? You know? So he says, I meditate upon Hari, my Ram. And because his meditation is broken, that's why he says, what do you want? Take it from me. He tells devotees, don't disturb me. So to his wife, he says, I meditate upon Ram, you know, and that is the best. So or Hari, you know, to that extent, Krishna. And that is how when you are worshipping, if you are to worship Durga, his wife, you can pray, please, Krishna's mercy, bhakti, please bless me. I can get Krishna's bhakti. That's it. What is the difficulty?
Perfect.
बराबर ना छान बरोबर आहे ना
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji.
काही काही नो प्रॉब्लेम भांडण कुणाचंही भांडण करायचे नाही. भांडणार नाही. सिंपल. मनात आपलं काय आहे आपण जाणतो ना. तर मला नुसतं हात जोडून नमस्कार करायचा आणि मनाला प्रार्थना करायची की मला कृष्णाची भक्ती द्या तुम्ही. बस.
Yes, Prabhu.
Nobody else will know what you're doing. That is best. In the
Right.
mind you're praying,
Mm.
There's another way. When you do Dandavats, it's another way. It's a particular way which we will teach you as time goes by. But for now, this is enough for you. Is it okay?
Yes, it is enough. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you.
See, I mean, it's not too complicated. Like my maternal grandfather, okay, he was a big Mayavad Acharya. He was sannyasi, such a big Acharya that there's a Pushpa Samadhi in his name.
Mm.
And I quietly go, whenever I go to India, and do my dandavats to him quietly, and worship him and all those things quietly, but made a mood of Krishna. He's my, how can I reject him, I said, well, you're nobody, but give me Krishna. Yes, they're very happy. Because of him only, I'm in the one church that I can come to Krishna. That's the point. See? Because Krishna Bhakti is very, very rare. It is
Yes.
very, very, very. To know Krishna as God is very, very rare. But to attain his Bhakti is super rare because he will give you. Right now, we are in the process of applying for Bhakti. Give me Bhakti, give me Bhakti. I'm chanting, give me Bhakti. In applying, there's so much bliss. When it gives, that is the perfection. Yeah.
Yes.
And even Krishna's bhoga and the prasad is very rarely attained. Don't think. For us, we keep something and we chant some mantra, I cook for him and Krishna very mercifully. But no, it is the mercy of Prabhupada and our Guru Maharaj. They offer to Krishna. They do and they get it. Lord Shiva started to dance in ecstasy when he had prasadam. Yeah. So, is it okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Right. Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Right. Just finish this last paragraph and we finish today's discussion. Okay? We'll cover the class today.
Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu want to say something. He's raised his hand for 10 minutes.
Oh, you're waiting. I'm sorry. You raise your hand. I don't see your hand. You technology guys, just show me your hand. I can see. I can't see their small hand. Sorry. Please tell me.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. My question was we were discussing about all these movies and games.
Your voice is wobbling. Your voice is not clear. Something is happening.
Hare Krishna. Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, better now. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, Prabhu. My question was, Prabhu, we were discussing all these yogis and jnanis who get siddhis. And related to this only in our Saturday class, we were discussing this verse, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Shochati Na Kankshati.
Yeah.
Sam Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhakti Labhate Param. So we were discussing this verse, and so these yogis, first question, like it's a series, so 2 questions only. So can these yogis or jnanis get to the Brahma Bhuta stage? Can they get there?
Brahmabhuta stage is a stage of liberation. Okay? They will achieve liberation after all this process. Whereas a bhakta achieves liberation when he accepts Krishna as God and he meditates his mind and thought thinking about him, reading about him, chanting about him. And liberation meaning what? The 3 modes of material nature does not affect you. So when you talk about Krishna who's above 3 modes of material nature, you are associating with him above 3 modes of material nature. So already there, okay? So liberation stage does not mean you're going back to Vaikuntha. And liberation stage also, there are different kind of liberations. But what they achieve, liberation, that is not what we're talking about. Because we spoke, as I said on Friday, the different kind of siddhis, about liberation, sayujya,
Sarupya, Samyukya.
okay, those. So that's where you associate with him in Vaikuntha. Devotee is talking about Vaikuntha straight. Whereas these people don't have any information about Vaikuntha.
Okay. So, Prabhu, so my next question is, so is there bliss in the Brahma Bhuta stage? Can they experience some kind of bliss?
Yes. Bliss.
There is bliss.
Bliss is experienced, happiness is experienced at every stage. Even right now, when we are not liberated stage, we're still experiencing bliss, no? That's why we are continuing this. From our busy schedule, we are chanting our rounds and we are studying and coming to the program. Why do we do it? Nobody's paying anything to you. Nobody's putting a gun on your head. You're coming out of some bliss. You're experiencing something, you know. So everybody experiences bliss in their own ways. But people have got different definitions of bliss. Definition, paribhasha alag hoti hai. People's definitions are very different. Whereas those distressed, I remember went to India and I saw this television serials in India. Man, every serial is like dun. Every serial you got, television serial is like this, and there's fighting in the family, and there's one person, woman is so strong in politics, and man is so strong in politics, and boom, and I'd go, my God, like this, you know. So I met a friend of mine there, you know. I said, what? Yeah, what kind of serials? And the best serial was this comedy serial, you know. Other Gujarati people, they made a serial, you know. And also on an article, Tariq Mehta's, you know, Ulta Chashma. I used to read the original written stories which used to come in Chitralekha. They were very, very famous in Gujarati. So I used to read it. Tariq Mehta na Ulta Chashma. Okay, which now they've changed and things. But people like that also. And that is also so stupid, man. Boom, and I can't stand it, man. So I told this my friend. I said, why is this serial so? And he is CEO in one of the big multinational. Just imagine this. So we've studied together. I said, what is this now? What nonsense is it? He said, Kya? What do we tell you, man? It's so, everything is so bogus everywhere. You know, our life is so distressed. They find some pleasure in this thing, you know. So that's why this serial is super hit. Now in my category, this serial is nothing. You don't need serial like this. With twing, ping, coming, chewing, coming, and that going, and facial expression, and there's no comedy, and you know what's going to come. One dialogue finishing take 10 minutes, you know. Two dialogues finish, half an hour is over. I used to work in television serials, in media. I know how it works, you see. So these are different definitions of people. So for me, this is stupid, waste of time, but for them it's so nice, you know. It is best, you know. So this is how it is. This is how it is. So in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna says that even if people who are doing things wrong, don't break their faith immediately. Work around it. So there's a strategy behind it. That's why you follow your tutor who will say, don't break it, give some prasadam. You know, give a little bit of philosophy. If you're going to hammer in, nah, this is wrong, you are foolish, you are rascal, he say he'll lose your friendship. He say, I don't want to be his friend. You understand this? So they some slowly, but they should experience your bliss. And they'll experience my bliss is different to your bliss. Understand? That is the point. That is the point. Personal experience. And then they will love. So it's a personal challenge that, yes, they all experience bliss. There's no harm, no doubt about it. And they will also tell you, people tell me, I chant this mantra, it's so powerful and that. I said, no problem. Good for you, you know, no problem. I chant more mantras, but they know this. So our own experience, we should be so strong that we can impress people by our actions rather than by teaching them. And when they're impressed, then bring them here, bring to your teacher Avinash Prabhu's place, you know, then they'll give us more dose there, you know. And then once things are ready to bring it here, we give more dose. And the next thing becomes their devotees there, you know. They didn't even know what hit them, you know. We have a whole structure, we are very cunning. So this is how it is. Bliss everyone can experience. When dog thinks is blissful when he's sitting nicely on the street and he's sleeping without disturbance. And you disturb him, you say, why are you disturbing me? And he barks at you, you know. This is how it is. Bliss is definitions are different.
So Prabhu, the bliss that Krishna talks about in Bhagavad-Gita, like, and Prabhupada also talks about in On the Way to Krishna in the 1st chapter, that you go inside and, you know, like that bliss, how is that bliss different from this bliss that we are talking about,
Good
watching
question.
serials and sleeping?
Good question. So when our original position, we discussed this point on Friday, that our original position is that of love for God, for Krishna. That is our original position of the spirit soul. And when we are engaged in that process, right now we are trying to be, okay, but our love is not that perfect that we can see Krishna as Krishna and love him. It's still awe and reverence should be there. At the beginning, you should have awe and reverence of Krishna, awe and reverence of God and all that. But still, the bliss that we experience, a devotee experiences when he is in that stage of Brahma Bhuta, when he is liberated from all the designations, and in the stage of spirit soul, he is connected with Bhagavan, not even super soul, yes, the master of everything. And that reciprocation between the two, that bliss is our original position, which we have left and we came here. That's why we are trying to find, we are so distressed that we are looking at these television serials and this serial better than that serial better and all those things, This is how it is. So that is our point. We want to become our Swarup Siddhi is our original Swarupa. Rupa meaning body. Swa means our own body, which is not this body. This is temporary body, Ambarisha's body, which you see now. If I die, this body is finished. You burn it, it's gone. No matter what you do, you can't see me. No matter what I do, I will not get this body of these eyes and this, like this facial. It will not happen. And nobody has happened in this world, not only me. But the soul has got its own Swarupa. It's just, this Swarupa is manifested in the spiritual world. Okay. So that we can experience here in this body. That is Krishna consciousness, this Prabhupada is given. And of course, it's not easy. But the process is the same which we are teaching you. Prabhupada has taught us. And after we have achieved our Swarup Siddhi, we are doing the same thing. It's not that, now I don't need to chant. No, I can do whatever I want to do. I can have my Coca-Cola, I'll have my chocolate, I'll have illicit sex, I'll go to pub, I'll go dance, I'll go television serial, I'll watch all those things. No. Then you'll be more inclined to do more and more. The thing is this, that the process is the same. The intensity in the process which we give will differ. Right now, intensity is a little less superficial. We're chanting, I'm hungry now, man. All those things, But the intensity will be different then. We said, no. I've seen it. I remember when I was chanting with Maharaj, it's very rare to chant. Maharaj called us to chant with him. Very rarely do. So I was chanting with Maharaj, And Maharaj was a little tired, And we were all young people, in our 20s, 30s, Maharaj were at the time 80s, So Maharaj was tired. It was Magharati time after finishing, And Maharaj yawned once or twice. I saw it. Maharaj yawned once or twice, and Maharaj stopped, I said, you continue. I'll be slow. Don't wait for me. Because we were chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. He would go slowly, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. And he yawned once or twice. Then he stopped. Maharaj stopped. Because he was not giving attention. Maharaj could not give attention. But we were, that's all right. This is how it is. Intensity is different. It's a name called, it's a relationship. It's a relationship. It's love. Okay. Is it all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So they will not experience this unless they see it in you. This is our challenge. This is real preaching. We should be what we are preaching. Is it all right? Okay.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
I think we will stop here on the reading part. But anyone has any questions before we go? So we're way above our time now,
Shubho.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Um, as you said that sometimes we do chanting, sometimes we are distracted, but there are times when we really feel like a sense of joy from within, or sometimes a teardrop will come from our eyes.
Yeah.
So that thing would be kept in the category of mental concoction or mental speculation, or is that particular teardrop or that sense of bliss and joy is a real or a original pure form of joy?
It's an experience that we experience. Every one of us has got some kind of piety in us, you know. So we may experience a little bit. There's no doubt about it. It's a good beginning. There is not the end. We're not achieved this. Because when the end comes, we'll see I don't have love for Krishna. I have no love for Krishna. When we don't have, we say I've got love for Krishna. We are searching for it. Oh. But when we get it, we say I have not got it actually. And you're convinced because Krishna is so infinite that he cannot be described. His glories cannot be described. That's why it says Ananta Shesh has got unlimited hoods. You know, hoods of the snake. Unlimited. And every hood with unlimited hoods is glorifying Hari, Krishna. But still he has not been able to finish his glorification even now. It's incomplete. So it's a very good start, and we must continue with this start. Be careful about mental speculation. Main thing is whether able to. Crying is not important. Concentrating on the sound is important more than crying. Because we're distracted, am I crying or not? No. Our concentration should be: am I focusing upon Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh Radharani, please engage me in yours and Krishna's loving devotion service. Please, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. This is how the request. Are we concentrating upon the request or not? So, our ecstasy is the byproducts of it. It's not the main thing. Is this okay? Good. Hare Krishna. Right? All right. Okay. So whose turn is it now today to sing? Maharaj, please hear us. Is it Navina's turn? I see Divyanshi is very anxious to say something. If you're late, you miss out.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Navina, एकच minute थांबा. Sorry. Thank you. Yes.
Should I go ahead and ask the question?
Yes, you're on the full screen now.
Yeah. So my question was that I was thinking about when you said that you've read the Science of Self-Realization 20 times, you've gone through it at least 20 times, and I was thinking that how do you kind of maintain that enthusiasm in your bhakti? Because we say that we need to fit in a routine that like these things you should do every day. Every day you have to read, every day you have to chant, do your arti. These things have to happen every day. But how do you prevent these things from becoming a mechanical process?
That's true. That's a very good question. And that's a challenge. The chanting we do every day. Arti we do every day. Studying we do every day. Cooking we do every day. At the beginning is a challenge. When you relish it, then you'll be very particular. You are super particular. While cooking, you are very particular. You should see how cooking is done at your home. By God, it is electrifying cooking experience. Just cooking, offering, cleaning, similarly chanting, it has become electrifying. And Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj instructs this point. Don't make devotional service a routine. So, yes, it's a challenge. But only when you are pedantic. You know, there's some people who are pedantic. When you're doing some work, it has to be done this way, and then they know the outcome. I'm not talking about somebody who is just pedantic for the sake of it. But if somebody is making doing a drama, or creating something, it has to be done perfectly, this way, that way. So this perfectness in devotional service means that a person wants to do his service to Krishna perfectly. So this is a challenge to us. But that does not mean your other routine should be neglected. Another devotees make mistakes this point. There are material activities that we are doing, they neglect it to do spiritual activities more. There is a wrong way to look at things. They make more enemies. Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj says this, that your material activities should be done so immaculately well that you are freed from it and you can do a devotional service. A devotee cannot be good in this devotional service and bad in material activities, like one's responsibilities, one's actions, one's job, whatever it is. And it was family, friends, job. One is not neglectful of anything, but focus is devotional service. That doesn't mean you'll allow anything to happen, but I'm just letting you know. Our activities, jobs, studies should be very perfect, topmost. Because we want people to be topmost in their studies and job and all those things. You should become very famous in your work. Become very rich if you want to. No problem. You can fly in aeroplane all the time. Have your own aeroplane. Good. Don't ask us to come there. We don't want to come, but you can fly if you want to. Good for you. I don't get me wrong. We got our own aeroplanes also. But everything should be perfect as far as possible. When Krishna sees this, then he will give us more time to do devotional service. Is this okay?
Yes, really, that's perfect. Hare Krishna.
It's a challenge. Hare Krishna. Okay. It's a challenge. Okay, I was rushing through to close off, but I don't want to see any morose faces. So anyone else has to say anything, please ask any questions or say something. Please feel free. You can wait for some more seconds. No problem. All right. Okay then. Navina, I want to ask you one question, Navina. Last Sunday, why were you so you're sleepy or you were not well or something?
I don't know. I don't know what I don't know what was going on, but not like that. I was upstairs doing something again. I don't know why. And then I came down too late.
Oh, but I found you to be a little off mood last Sunday. You were like, you're not like this.
It's fighting.
You're like this, something like that. Yeah, okay. Anyway, you don't remember. That's all right. Good not to remember such things. You're happy to sing now? Very good. Very nice. I think Subhadra has also come. Madhu has also come now. Very nice. Okay. 1, 2, 3, start.
Maharaj, please hear us.
Maharaj, please hear us.
We have learned some real good stuff.
We have learned some real good stuff.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
And today for you we will sing.
And today for you we will sing.
If our room is clean,
If our room is clean,
then our mind is clean.
then our mind is clean.
If our mind is clean,
If our mind is clean,
we can do anything.
we can do anything.
If our room is dirty,
If our room is dirty,
then so are we.
then so are we.
And if we are dirty,
We are dirty,
we're not happy,
not happy,
wasting time.
Wasting time
is the greatest crime.
is the greatest crime.
Because wasted time
Because wasted time
means a wasted mind.
means a wasted mind.
So best use your time
So best use your time
when you're in your prime.
when you're in your prime,
And your whole life
and your whole life
will be sublime.
will be sublime.
If your wealth is gone,
If a wealth is gone,
then there's nothing wrong.
then there is nothing wrong.
When the health is gone,
But if your health is gone,
that's a different song.
that's a different song.
But if your character dies,
But if your character dies,
then the world will cry.
then the world will cry.
Only saintly behavior
Only saintly behavior
lets humanity thrive.
lets humanity thrive.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We must always remember Krishna
We must always remember Krishna
and never forget him too.
and never forget him too.
But how are we to practice this with so many things to do?
But how are we to practice this with so many things to do?
That is the greatest question.
That is the greatest question.
And here is the greatest clue.
And here is the greatest clue.
You must learn to work so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
You must work so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
So listen very closely
So listen very closely
and make your thinking sharp.
and make you thinking sharp. Listen.
Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart.
Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart.
If something's due tomorrow,
If something's due tomorrow,
finish it today.
finish it today.
And whatever is due today,
And whatever is due today,
do it now, don't delay.
do it now, don't
Your
delay.
friends might be lazy
If your parents might be lazy
or doing bad things.
or doing bad things,
But if you think again,
but you think again,
don't follow them,
don't follow them,
and you will win the end.
and you will win in the end.
Whatever work we given,
Whatever work we given,
we do our very best.
we do our very best.
We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest.
We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest.
This is how to live, to work and to play. If you learn to live this way, we'll see Krishna every day.
This is how to live, to work and to play. If you learn to live this way, we'll see Krishna every day.
And when the time is up, we'll take us up above. We'll sing and dance with him with our hearts full of love.
And when our time is up, he'll take us up above. We'll sing and dance with him with a heart full of love.
So chant Krishna's name, say glory and his fame. It's the only way this world you can ever become saved.
So chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame. This is the only way this
Baba, stop.
world will ever
Never become saved.
Now please ask this greatest question
Now please ask this greatest question
and find this greatest clue.
and find this greatest clue.
You can only remember Krishna
You only remember Krishna
if Krishna remembers you.
if Krishna remembers you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai. His Holiness Srila Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudev ki Jai.
Bye.
Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Shananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai.
Jai.
My God Chandra Premanande.
Prabhu.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Bhutale Srimati Mahavishnu Goswami Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Prasarine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatari Sari. Okay, Hare Krishna. So we'll see you next week, same place, same time. Till then, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. And look out for our post in our intermediate program when we're going to start this. Okay. And for next week, if you want to invite other friends of yours or relatives or enemies, invite them to the weekend broad-based group and with the interactivity. Let them know it's interactive and encourage them to come to the Zoom programs. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu.
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram.